はこれか。せーの。My cabbages! Low, low, man. My cabbages!
What is up, everybody? We've got another Johnny Somali trial day today with live updates from the SCT. I first thought this was going to be closed, but we may have an open hearing here, which would mean we'll get live updates. So that should be great. Good to be here. I got my PP whipped out, so we may go over that again just so you guys know what's up and what's going on. A little PP refresher. Giving you guys a little bit of the PP. It always works. That is PowerPoint, of course. Good to see you guys here today in the morning for me, or afternoon, whatever. I've been waking up later, so I just woke up. We're here. We're going to get some Ramsey love over there in Seoul. It's good to see you guys. And then I'll have a summary up later, a fast facts, probably summary of what happens here today for you guys. But good to see everybody here. Crimson Splat gifting 10 Legal Mindset memberships and Doug Diaz gifting 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Yes. Since it's a Somali day, we'll throw.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Crimson Splat and also ADP ZXD, welcome as a new member. Light Wolf 86 says motion to squash, motion to cabbage,
emotional cabbage.
Certainly going to be some of those today. Repton says Cabbage Boy is becoming more and more like a reality. It brings a tear to your eye. I know. I'm just waking up, so I'm not crying yet. But it is a good day. It is indeed a good day. Atozi is not there. So just the members of the SCT are there. They're waiting for Bong Bong. They've been waiting for Bong Bong. Johnny is in the court, and Johnny's lawyer's in the court. Hank is not there today, so no hanky poo today. We do have one nuisance streamer, slightly homeless. He's there, but he's kind of an idiot because he thought today is the final trial day. It's not. There's going to be many more trial days for Johnny Somali. He's going to have a closing arguments day. So that'll be one. Maybe that could be scheduled for a month or 2 months from now. We don't know. Could even be 3 months from now. Who knows? Right. And then we're going to have sentencing after that. So we've got 2 more in the tank after this. So there's going to be more. And that's if they don't decide there needs to be further evidence or further witnesses or further people brought in. So if there's another day where they need more testimony, that would also come before closing arguments. So this is something that's going to stretch out for it, at least at minimum, the next 2-3 months. So this is not going to be over today. This is not over today. Today is not the final trial day by far. Felzu says, I'm modding for VTuber Day. I'll check in. Okay, that's all good. Thank you, Felzu. Appreciate the support. And Crowdsight for 10 says, objection, not enough power, more pointy. Hold objection. On. There we go. But this is an open hearing today. So this is a huge change. Let me actually post that on X. Today, the Somali trial will be an open hearing. So live updates on YouTube and Kick. Okay, cool. So you guys are going to get live updates on YouTube and Kick. I'm the only person who knows how to do that. So so it's exclusive to the Legal Mindset channel. Appreciate that. The judge is there. Johnny and his lawyer are in the defendant's seat. We are ready to go here. This is a play-by-play sort of here. No caps and no spamming in the chat, right? Okay. Just going to throw that out there on either Kick or on YouTube. It may take a while longer, but we are patient. Prison time's coming, Cabbage Patch Kid. It's coming slowly. The process is the punishment. Talking about a VTuber, Curio says, where's yours? It's coming, right? Slowly, right? So you got to be patient. Be patient for things. Brandon the Anime Guy for 5 says, Legal Mindset up late, up early, up to everything. Hope Johnny Somali gets it. Emotional damage and farming life in another world. Getting a season 2. Harem for all. There are some good isekais out there. All right. So we're waiting on that. Let's get into, while I'll throw up the PP while we wait for the judge and everything to get rolling. But just in case you guys didn't know or didn't see my earlier video, real quick, we'll give you a rundown of what's going to go down today. So on this February 11th trial, the last trial had two witnesses, Hank and Jungman. Today it's Bong Bong, right? So Bong Bong's there, and that's going to go down today. She's testifying about her deep fake, right? The trial was going to be delayed until she testifies, but she's testifying today. She had the option to keep it open, and it appears, and I'm double checking here, it appears that it's open, and Johnny is now put on a pair of glasses. That's the update. That's the update. And there's a new prosecutor as well, who is a female. Oh no, live update from the court. So previously, the prosecutor, I'm getting live updates here, guys. So as these come in, I'm reporting these to you as we go through this. So right now we got Johnny in the courtroom, got Johnny's lawyer, no Hank, SCT's there, right? Bong Bong's there. Johnny's put on glasses, and we got a female prosecutor. Bro's cooked, right? Bro is cooked. If he tries some of this like misogyny stuff, that is not going to work. That is not going to work for him. Jack the Cat 3453 said he's going to get his punishment real soon. What type of cheap Korean food can Johnny buy with his meager resources? I think he's just eating ramyun or something like that. I mean, I don't know how he's getting his money. I mean, like I said, is he still getting sugar daddied? I'm not sure what's going on there. Dark Striler for 100, I think, Argentina. I was going to sleep before I noticed the stream. Let's see justice and cabbages. Oh yeah. Okay, we did have a little change of course here. Okay. It does look like, okay. It's an open trial, but the session will be private. Okay. So they may be clearing everybody out of the courtroom and maybe doing the testimony in private. So that's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Thought it was going to be open. Hold on. Let me retract my post here because I want to make sure I'm accurate. I'm always accurate when I need to be. Looks like they thought it was going to be open, and it ended up getting closed and getting changed to private. Okay. Well, that happens. Pop a bottle of champagne when he goes to jail. We're ready for it. Chi Dynamics says VTuber sneak peek when. Also, so happy I woke up early to catch League of Monsters stream. Oh yeah. Finally caught a live stream. Well, there we go. We were going to talk about today, even though I know I wanted everything to be here. When will the final court date be? I don't know right now. So I'm just guesstimating that his final court date is going to be somewhere in before the summer or maybe by the summer, because he's still got at least 2 or 3 more court dates, and they space them out every couple months. So if he's got 2 or 3 more court dates and they space them out every couple months, we're in February now. So if the next one was in March and there's another one in April, that'd be the soonest. It could be further, though. Could be May, June, July. So we don't know. Sentence him to work as a courtesan at a soap. Soap lands aren't as big thing in Korea. It's more of a Japan thing. But I see where you're going there. See where you're going. All right, let's give you guys a little background here and give you guys a little bit of what's been going today. No, he will not be found guilty. They're just going to hear testimony as to the deepfakes from Bong Bong. So today is Bong Bong's day to talk about the deepfakes, and the judge will decide, because there's no jury, it's just a judge, will decide whether he feels like that's convincing or not. And the big thing was there was an update on the settlement with Jungman. So he thought he settled this deepfake charge with Jungman, this male streamer. And what happened here is 4 months ago, Jungman, this guy who threw a brick through a window, he's pretty unhinged, and Ramsey, they had an unofficial agreement to settle the deepfake charges, but both of the cases continued uninterrupted without the official cases dropped, the official charges dropped in either case. The thing is, prosecutors have the discretion to keep or drop. And now we know, based on the updates today we got from the courtroom, the new prosecutor is a female. Maybe she really doesn't like Johnny Somali, right? And maybe she doesn't like the fact that Johnny Somali is trying to make Bong Bong into somebody that's attacked. He wants to attack the victim. If you guys saw this clip, and I'm going to play this clip for you. It's an older one. but it's important. I think it was a little while ago, but it's important to play because Johnny Somali is trying to flip this back on Bong Bong. Here we go. So let me play this clip for you. This is an older clip, but this is a very relevant clip of Johnny trying to flip this back on the Bong Bong. Let's play this. Here we go. Okay.
Going to trial. Because this is ridiculous. Why don't we talk about how she went on live stream and shared the same thing? Is Korea a racist country? Is Korea a sexist country? Because best believe me, that's going to be brought up. And we have the evidence of her showing.
He sounds so feminine when he says that. So Johnny Somali wants to try to charge Bong Bong, but she's never been charged. The prosecutor hasn't charged her. To date, we have no criminal case for Bong Bong. So it looks like just even thinking that and trying that might have made the prosecutor angry. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing. But today we'll have that testimony, and as long as Bong Bong just tells the truth, he's in trouble, right? He's in trouble. Now he gets to cross-examine her, but still. Also, the prosecutor asked before they were kicked out of the courtroom, right? The prosecutor asked if they show video before or after the testimony. The judge says it doesn't matter, but either way, it'll be a closed trial. The courtroom is cleared, and Hank is not there today. So Hanky Poo is not there. So we can make whatever assumptions you want to make. Maybe there's a breakup. Maybe he's just busy. Who knows? But Hank is not there today. Hank has been there every single day, and Hank is not there today. So, and remember, this is live reports from the SCT that is there on scene. Chris Pham 6599 says the cabbage is away, Johnny. Indeed. Sokaten Soldier 9984 says not been a while. Update in a while. What's going on? We'll tell you real quick. Juan Acampos. It's Suffa Somali, Suffa Bish. Steve OC, member for 31 months, says it's going to be a 7-year court date before sentence. Well, he's already been there almost a year just in this process of the court. He's been there more than a year when you look at the time from when he committed his crimes. So he's been there over a year in Korea, unable to leave now. Have you heard that he's back uploading on YouTube? I know, I'm not trying to promote it or anything like that, but once again, he's trying to get back into doing things and trying to provoke people, but not, once again, he's already got all the charges against him that he needs. And there is still the CHS, the child sexual harassment that's still being investigated. But other than that, they've got 8 charges on him at this point. Calling it out. RKI, no. Legal Might say yes. Yeah, that's absolutely what's going on. Yes. Dr. Binding said, Bong Bong, stay true, get him. And Danish to the Court says, how much of the crap has he been posting and said on his live stream since the last time he was in court? Has a judge and prosecutor seen what's relevant? The problem is that, and this is the thing with Johnny Somali, and he's a little bit clever about this now that he's gotten a bunch of heat, but a lot of what he says is just to get attention. It's not actually like something that's going to get you in trouble with the law. So him saying offensive things that are not illegal, we don't go and turn in everything that he says, because some of it is irrelevant and you don't want to show relevant stuff to the court. But all of the relevant stuff that he said that could get him in legal trouble, all of that's been turned over to the judge and prosecutor. So the SCT, the Somali conviction team, the people that are working with me there, the people that have been giving me information, that have been giving me updates, that are there sitting outside of the courtroom right now. Those people, we've been giving this information in. So the information is been turned over to the prosecutor. They have the information packet. It's all there. Maxtinius Decimus says Johnny was schooled at a quality learning center. Okay. Let's get back to the PP. I want to finish just going over the general parameters today, and then we're going to get into what I think he's going to say today. Okay. So Hank requested on the 3rd of February a request for clarification of the scope of the agreement. So essentially, Hank and Johnny are shitting themselves. They are very worried about the settlement with Youngman, because if this settlement goes away, they're no longer facing just one deepfake charge. They're facing 2. and the prosecutors don't have to drop them even if they settle with each other. So 4 months ago, legal experts, lawyers we talked to, and other people who know the process predicted that the official charges would be dropped within 2 weeks. So they predicted, oh yeah, they had a settlement, it's going to be dropped. Well, guess what? On January 26th, we had closing arguments in Jungmann's case, and the deepfake charges are still there. So that shows that the prosecutor may hate Somali enough, and maybe Jungmann too, but definitely hates Somali enough not to want to go with with this so-called settlement and say, hey, no, we're not going to go with this settlement. We're going to continue to prosecute them on deepfake charges. So Jungmann's sentencing is settled for March 9th, which is after closing argument. Highly unusual. They may be waiting for the testimony in this case. But what I've done is with the PP and with this chart is I've gone back and I've added the first deepfake count. I had stricken that deepfake count. I put it back. So now we still have the maximum is 12 years. Now I'm calling out Law by Mike and partly Atosi, because Atosi does this too. I love him, but he does this too. The maximum is 12 years and 2 months. Okay. The maximum is 12 years and 2 months. It's not 31 years. It's not 20. It's not 30. It's not 40. It's not 50. The maximum amount is 12 years and 2 months because of the sentencing guidelines in Korea. You don't add up each one, and it is a maximum. And what it does is the more charges you get, the more likely you get an aggravated charge, and then you get the maximum. So the more charges you have of a particular type, the more likely you get the maximum. So because he's got 2 deepfakes and 4 obstructions, he's likely to get towards the maximum. That's why I said anywhere between, when I do my predictions here, I say I still think it's likely he gets between 1 to 7 years of jail time. And I think that would be fair for him, right? Each count is increasing the minimum under the guidelines. So max 12 years, 2 months, still likely to get jail time. And if he gets both, that's even better. Hey, Johnny, since the type of content the Legal Mindset makes is supposedly non-temp by your standards, then why does he make more money than you? I know. These are questions that that really
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Also, someone asked about Mudang, so hold on. Let me get Mudang back in the focus here. Mudang needs a special hat today. She's got her tiger hat on because that's the Korean thing. I've actually got a tiger tattoo from Korea, so definitely eye the tiger over there in Korea. Special one for the day. So that's what she's got. She's rocking for today. So Mudang swagged out. Yeah. And very, very easy rules here in chat from Brandon the Anime Guy. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. So just follow my rules and you're all good. No cap spam. It's pretty easy. All right. So Ramsey's lawyer is probably going to make some really, really bad arguments. Most likely the arguments that they're going to make today are going to be that the same arguments they made before, which are that he couldn't be guilty for the DK because there's no intent and it wasn't sexual, which is a pretty horrible argument. And they probably are going to ask for an expedited trial, which isn't going to happen. They're probably going to ask for that again. It's not going to happen. And the judge said some foreign defendants can be up there for 6 years. So they really don't care about Johnny and trying to speed up the trial. He's also going to try to argue the Lotte World charges again, but to be honest, they've already pled guilty. So, on those charges, if we go back here, the obstruction of business at Lotte World for disrupting a ride, he's already pled guilty on that. So it really doesn't matter what the lawyer argues. So he's still already pled guilty on everything except for the deepfakes. And like I said before, even if he didn't get hit with the deepfakes, he's probably going to get some time in jail. But if he gets hit with the deepfakes, then yes, he's definitely looking at some time. That's something that would be on the menu. Okay, so those are going to be some bad arguments. Some other bad arguments that I want to bring up are, for example, trying to say that Bong Bong did it too, right? So in that clip I showed you, you said, oh, well, Bong Bong did it too. Let's get her. Well, that's for the prosecutor to decide. That doesn't get you off. That doesn't make you innocent. So even if Bong Bong did it too, you're still guilty of it, because the way that deepfakes work, the way the deepfake crime works, you are guilty of the deepfake crime even if there's no intent. Just by showing it, you're guilty, right? If it is sexual in nature. So Johnny meets that, and there really isn't much else to say. It doesn't get him off, even if the other person did it too. McStinius Decimus says, I would buy a shirt from Johnny Somali picking cabbages. I know, we got to work on that. No Pew, Mupan, my cabbages. Hold on.
Emotional cabbage.
So that's a lamp. That was Mooneg's body. No, the Mooneg is not trapezoidal shaped or whatever. She's not like, she's just the head of the pyramid. Okay, she's at the top. She's the Moodang Illuminati. All right. Okay. And just to show you the difference between people, Youngman, this other guy who, he's pretty crazy and unhinged himself. He threw a brick through a window in the courtroom. So he's a pretty unhinged guy. But even this other guy decided to write 7 apologies. 7 apologies. So this other dude wrote 7 apologies. Somali has not submitted a single apology letter as of date. So as of date, we've got, this other guy, this crazy guy who's out there throwing bricks through windows. He's submitted, because he's Korean, he knows this. You've got to apologize. Johnny Somali has not apologized, even once. Not a single apology letter. This other dude has submitted 7 in the same period of time, right? Actually, in less period of time. Somali's trial's gone on longer. So Somali's deepfake charge has not been dropped for the Youngman deepfake. And Bong Bong's performance today is critical. But honestly, as long as she tells the truth, as long as Bong Bong tells the truth and she sits down there and she doesn't get, too confused or say too many crazy things, it should be all right with that. And as long as she, is honest that her and Johnny were not in a relationship and she did not give proof or, permission for him to say that or to put these deepfakes out, that's all that's needed, right? Plot twist: the South Korean judge that convicts Ramsey will take off his face mask and reveal to be Moodang, and the prosecutor will take off their face masks and reveal himself to be Legal Mindset. A female Korean that transforms the Legal Mindset. That is definitely something that you need AI to generate, right? Female prosecutor transforming the Legal Mindset. That'll be great. And by the way, since today is not his final court date, I may be at one of his final court dates. Now, I'm not said whether or not I will for sure go, but it is a possibility depending on the timing, right? It is a possibility depending on the timing. That could happen. It's possible. Okay. Let me see. All right. What I got next? So Bong Bong said she's going to show up. She did it. For her credit, because I was worried that Bong Bong wasn't going to show up today. She is in the court. She is testifying right now. It is a private hearing, so everything is closed. We're not going to hear till afterwards kind of what happened, and maybe if Bong Bong's willing to give an interview or Bong Bong's willing to, talk about it. But she's there today. Big credit to her. She said she's just going to tell the truth, saying doing it for Korea. All she's got to do is tell the truth today, and that's going to be enough. Proxy 4818 says, honestly, Bong Bong should just keep doing Bong Bong things. Any update on him getting a vasectomy? Sorry, I couldn't. That would be funny. That would be very, very funny. But as far as we know, and the thing is, he hasn't done anything exciting or worth covering. That's the reason why I haven't really covered Johnny Somali, because everything that he's doing is for attention. It's not actually something that's legal or something that's going to go towards a trial. So the biggest thing that I think that's relevant today is Johnny Somali not having hanky poo, because he's been there, and this is the first hearing of all the hearings. We've had many hearings where Hank is not there. So, I mean, people can read into that what they want to read into that. If that's like the gossip of the day, that's actually pretty interesting, right? Big Helio 1093 says, do they make prisoners work in prison? If so, it's not all bad because he have an honest day's work. That's the whole point of cabbage, right? Is that sometimes they send them out there to do work, road work, factory work, or agricultural work, right? That is a real thing. So they could sentence him, or after he gets sentenced, he's in prison, he could be doing agricultural work. It's very true. He could be out there picking cabbages. It's possible. But he could be in a factory making odeng, the kind of cakes, if you've seen those. That might happen, the fish cakes. Kid Loco, I remember for 23, said, good nighty, 2:02 a.m. in Florida, hot weather too. Ooh, stay safe down in Florida, my home state. Teppy and National for 5 Canadians. I'm still hard at work writing my first novel. I still intend to finish it before Ramsey's sentencing. Please hold me to it, Andrew. Hey, you've got a couple months. You've got a couple months to finish this. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens then. Let's see. Hey, Jackenstein, how do you feel about Johnny Somali trial? Is it taking too long? No, this is the process is the punishment, guys. So the whole point is they drag you out. They drag you out in these cases over months, over years. And this is fine. The judge said we have cases of foreigners that take up to 6 years. 6 years. And they don't have a problem with keeping you there during that. Korea's pretty hardcore. That's why he fucked around in the wrong country, right? And also, once again, it's hard for him he really can't work there, right? That's really illegal for him. Yeah. Now, Manu, he didn't say what type of case that was. Maybe that was like drug trafficking or something, or maybe it was murder. Who knows, right? But they have no sympathy for keeping you there for 1 year. They'll do that. Aaron Clary, what's up, Aaron? Said for 10, you'll never work or work mature with these guys. No, they keep me pumping. They keep me humming. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate you and talk to you soon, buddy. RTS 7982 for 5,000 wands. It's Giant Somali Rams quickly dismount. Count up your sins. You're in your face. It's not going to stop. And the thing is, after this court date, we're going to have at least 2 or 3 more. We're going to have closing arguments where both sides are going to argue, and then we have sentencing after closing arguments. The reason why I say there might be another case is because somebody filed a motion for extraordinary punishment. So let me just be clear about what that is. That's saying that they need to go above and beyond and punish him to the maximum. So that person who filed that, which we haven't confirmed, we have suspicions of who it is, but we haven't confirmed it, right? If that person who filed that motion for extraordinary punishment needs to come in and give testimony and needs to talk about why they should be punished to the maximum degree, then that would be another day. So we might have that happening in March, closing arguments in April, sentencing in May, right? That's a very realistic timeline here. Once again, this has been going on now for the trial itself has been going on for over a year. He's been there for almost a year. And at this point, 4 or 5 months, maybe something like that. So he's been there for a very long time. Cabbage Farm to RKI. Here I come, Johnny. He's not going to avoid it.
Emotional cabbage.
Mikey D666 gifted 5 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Kevin SM, Somali Inmates Paradise, coming soon. He's going to be enjoying it in that because he's going to have a lot of jailmates. So like I said, guys, just once again, update. Johnny is there with his lawyer. They're inside. He's putting on, he was wearing transparent rim glasses, which is interesting. Trying to look smart. There's a new prosecutor who is a female. They are going to be showing video, but it is a closed trial. So that means that the SCT, the people that are my people, cannot be inside. Neither can anybody else. So if anybody else is trying to report that they were inside, they're not. There is another nuisance streamer there who was trying to get inside, but they got kicked out as well. So no one's going to know exactly what went down until we hear from kind of Bong Bong and get what went down. I would not trust a word out of Johnny Somali's mouth because, of course, he always frames things as positive to him. Maxdinius Decimus says, sometimes I got depressed, but then I realized at least I'm not Johnny Somali and life could be so much worse. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, actually. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Lorenzi says, RKI yearns for the cabbages. That's right, he does. Kyle Johnson says, wanted to tell you thank you for being a quote-unquote good lawyer. International law is ridiculous, so thanks for informing us the right way. My pleasure. And once again, I'm trying to get the facts out to you guys, and even the facts that are, I don't know if this is good for Johnny Somali or it is a fact. I'm gutting out here there the fact that 12 years is the amount of time that's the maximum. Don't fall for the clickbait videos. I'm looking at you, Lullaby Mike. I'm looking at you. You know, sometimes a Tozy too. I love you, bro. You know, it's 12 years is the sentencing maximum under the Korean guidelines. It's nothing more than that. It will never be more than that unless the child sexual harassment gets added. If that gets added, it goes up. But until that gets added, it's 12 years. It's 12 years, right? Proper information. Hooray for my mods are the best. They are. The mods here are the great. Danielle, JP Ravenfire, they're great. And they are incredibly good looking. Yes, they are. They are. They are. That's all true. It's all true. We're all incredibly good looking in the Legal Mindset team. Narco MOBA says, hello, Legal Mindset. When it's a Pal World stream, say, now that I have my new computer and I got that, I had some problems with it, but we got it fixed up. I may be doing some more gaming streaming. And if I do that, I may try to do that on Twitch. We'll see. But I need a Pal World legal update at some point too. But I have to look at that trial and see where it's at. So, and see if there's something worth updating in that trial. Big Helio said, plot twist, it was Hank is the one for Push for Maximum. And this is Brutus moment. It might be. We'll see. We'll see. But at the end of the day, the justice that's going to come for Johnny is going to be what's deserved. I think the Korean courts are going to give him what's deserved. It's the same judge still. So the judge hasn't changed. So that's actually interesting. The prosecutor changed, but the prosecutor appears to not want to drop charges against Johnny. And given it's a female prosecutor, they probably also don't want to bring charges against Bong Bong. And I'm just saying that from the perspective of Bong Bong being a female victim and being the obvious target here. Even just showing it incidentally, she may think that doesn't rise to the level of production needed to bring a charge, right? So I don't think there's going to be a charge against Bong Bong, is what I'm saying. Proxy 4818 for 5 says, wonder if Johnny will break that 6-year foreigner trial record. I don't think he's going to break 6 years. I think it's over in 2026. I think we get the final day in 2026. Can they add the child sexual case? Yes. Important fact. They can add the child sexual harassment after this, and they may be waiting to see what happens in this trial and how badly he's punished before they hit him with that. So that's something they could hit him with, and they can also hit him with that if he appeals. So if he's appealing, while he's appealing this trial, they can hit him with child sexual harassment. But by the way, he appeals from jail. So if he's going to appeal this, he sits in jail while he's appealing. So that's a little fun fact for Johnny Somali there on the appeal. Patrick S. 9022 says, what will be the years if it does get added? That one can add, I believe that one adds up to 10. That can add up to 10. I'd have to double check. For that one, let me do a little quick double check. I believe it's 10, up to 10. Yes. But more likely 5. Let's see. 5 years. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I think 5. And then actually there's one called digital grooming. They could get him under that. That can be 3 years. So 3 to 5, right? It depends on if you're just doing, this is actually the one that's pretty easy to get. So digital grooming, if you're sending messages causing sexual shame or coercing sexual acts online, that's 3 years in prison or a fine of up to 30 million won. And if you're coercing a minor, that's 5 years. So it kind of depends on what they interpret it as. But that digital grooming, sending messages causing sexual shame, he definitely did that. That's something that you can, you have enough evidence of that. So that's 3 years right there. That's 3 years right there. Because he was on Omegle and he was trying to talk to underage girls, right? Or Ome.tv, whatever it is, right? And trying to talk to underage girls. So they have enough evidence for that in Korea. Once again, they have to convict him of it. He's not convicted yet. So I have to say that. He's not convicted of any of these things. But they have the evidence. Cryosite for 10 says, the mods are incredibly good looking. That means Caps Lock was more appealing. Hey, calm down now. Calm down now with the cat's log. Elper Ava, what's up for 5? Hey, Andrew, good to catch stream. React to the fast facts because we got a YouTube lawyer trying to claim RK is facing 31 years. Yeah, I know. There's a lot that are just out there trying to, put up high numbers because high numbers get clicks, but I don't do that. We put up the accurate facts. Bong Bong did show up. She is there. The trial is a closed hearing, so it's not going to be public. It's not going to be out there for everyone. That's why we had some updates about the new prosecutor who's a female. The judge is there. Johnny's there. His lawyer's there. SET is there. There's a nuisance streamer there, but they have to have their camera off. So nobody is in there with filming or doing anything like that because they can't, right? Because they can't. Let's see here. All right. I'm watching this from a country an hour behind South Korea. Oh, cool. There we go. What's up, Armando? Good to see you there. Does Johnny have more charges in foreign locations? Can he be extradited? He will not be extradited. The Japanese charges blacklist him from Japan for 5 years. Now probably he's got like 4 left on that he's banned from Japan. So he can't go back to Japan, but all of his charges have been settled in other places as far as I know, right? So now it's possible if he gets hit with the deepfakes or if he gets hit with the child sexual harassment, that might have some consequences for him internationally. We'll see. It's possible, especially if he gets hit with the CHS, that he could end up having some consequences, let's say in the US. Possible, theoretically. So extradited means to be sent to another country. So is it possible he's been sent to another country? Not really, because he hasn't done anything in another country that merits extradition. So extradition is pretty serious, and there'd have to be a pretty major crime he committed in another country to get that, right? It'd have to be a pretty huge thing. But he hasn't, I'm fair in my coverage of Johnny Somali, what he's done and what he hasn't done. He's done a lot of harassment, but he didn't do murder. He hasn't done any sort of massive financial crime that they would definitely extradite you for. So, yeah, but we've submitted evidence for the CHS. The Somali conviction team has submitted that evidence for child sexual harassment. So they've got that, and they've got the ability to bring that case if they want to. But that's brought in a separate district. So sometimes those districts work differently, and they also may be monitoring the case. So I think that's what's going on right now. Is the hotshot prosecutor from the other district? I don't think so. No, this prosecutor is from the Western District in near Hongdae. So this female prosecutor is there, but in the Eastern District where we submitted child sexual harassment, that is the hotshot prosecutor. So that one is one of the top prosecutors in all of Korea in the Eastern District. So they know what they're doing, and they're obviously maybe they have a strategy to wait and see on this trial and then hit him with the other one, right? So that may be what the strategy is. So that could be. And if they're a good prosecutor, maybe that's how they do it, right? And they can drag this out. Who decides if he just judge or jail? That's a good question. Actually, no, the judge decides. The judge decides all the punishments. It is not decided by Somali. Somali does not get to pick his punishment, right? The judge decides the punishment. That's how it goes down. But today is not sentencing day. Sentencing day will not be for another 2 months, probably at a bare minimum. I think it could be further out, could be 3, 4. He's still got 2 or 3 hearings ahead of this. This is not the final day. Anybody who says it's the final day, that's misinformation. Isabel Duncan gifted 5 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Catch Up Raven says, I finally caught a stream again today. Hey, well, good for you guys. Well, good for you catch before we wrap it, because what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to wait afterwards. We're going to have to see if Bong Bong gets an interview. We're going to try to interview her. We got members of the SCT there. So hopefully we can maybe get some information from her and talk to her and get kind of an inside scoop on that and see what happened. And if they open up the courtroom at the end for some procedural stuff, we'll probably get the next court date. If not, we'll get the next court date within the next day or two, because they'll have to file that with the court. So that'll be there. So guys, that's what we got today. So I know it's not exactly the play-by-play of everything, but I wanted to give you guys an update on what's going to happen, what's going to come down, and what we're going to see today. He doesn't have, someone asked, does he have unresolved charges in Israel? Not as far as I know. Not as far as I know. But anyways, that's what I got for today, guys. Stay based. Sorry, I'm late, clue me in. His trial is today. It's a closed hearing, so we're going to get some updates afterwards, right? We're going to get some updates afterwards. It's a closed hearing, the testimony of Bong Bong, right? So Bong Bong is testifying today. But it's a closed hearing, so nobody can be in there. We're going to have to rely on interviewing afterwards. I thought that we might be able to get some live updates, but we did not. We just got, there's a female prosecutor. Johnny's there, Bong Bong's there, and it's happening. So that's all coming into you guys. All right, so thank you guys so much. Stay care, stay based, and don't be coping and seething.
You are coping and seething. You just can't believe what you're seeing. It's you coping and seething. The truth it is all day, and now you are more.